No, but it's true.
And
Hey,
I know. And well, that's it. We're on. We
we
are.
are on. We're live,
We,
folks.
yes, we are
Are
live.
we live on all platforms?
Yes.
Mic
You
check,
know.
1, 2.
So we
Hey,
missed you. We missed you a great deal, right? You were away.
yeah, I mean, I was here
I
last
know
week.
I know you did, but
Uh,
like you not being there for 2 sessions. I was like reflecting on it this morning. I was like, look at this. Like you feel the void. I'm like, okay, it's like okay,
Damn. I'm
huh?
sorry, folks. I didn't mean to take off like that on you
Yeah,
guys.
some people have been asking, so I was like, no, it's
I
not okay. It's
apologize.
good. It's good. It's good. Anyway, so we're back in business. This week we went into. I didn't even download that flyer. It doesn't matter. You guys saw that flyer on social media. It's like, why do agents fail at real estate? And we don't want to be like all about like the negative side of the business, right?
I
And
think we're
but
going to touch on both sides, right? Both
yeah,
sides,
yeah,
positive and
yeah.
negative.
Yes, let's talk about. You know what? I'm going to say something. There is this politic of positivism all over the world where nothing negative is ever being said, and but a lot of the way the words are used, they use to mask and cover negative actions with positive words.
Yeah.
F that, okay? I'm against it. I'm gonna
The
let's
truth
call
comes
a spade.
out.
Let's
Dun,
call a
dun,
spade a
dun.
spade.
Well, good morning, folks. For those of you tuning in, good morning. I want
Yeah.
to see who you folks are. You just scared somebody. You told them the truth, Gigi. You
The
you
truth
said that
is, yes.
you said you're not gonna fluff it, and somebody left. Thank you.
Right.
So, folks, happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your attention, your love. If you are tuning in, shout out from where you're tuning in from. Comment in the chat box. We
I
love
don't know who's in this morning. I need
to
to put
say
my
hello.
glasses. I see a
Hello.
little
It's Friday.
one
Hey.
person.
All right.
It doesn't
We
matter.
don't. Yeah, we don't gotta talk about it. Just be about it. Hey,
Yeah.
that person. Those of you that are tuning in are serious about what your business, right?
Business,
I
right?
would hope so.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be going into a few of the unfortunate events that occur in real estate, but at the same time, we want to give you folks some tips. Hello, whoever jumped in. Want to say hello.
So we let's go over
Buenos
that
dias.
dreadful number of fail rate in real estate within the
Before
first.
we do that, why don't we ask them? Why
Oh,
don't we ask those of you who are tuning in right now? Good morning, folks. For those of you who are tuning in, thanks for jumping
jumping
on.
in. Yeah.
We want to ask you guys a quick question. So today's topic, just so you know, it's why so many agents fail. All right. So we want to ask you guys, how many of you folks know what the statistic is, right? Gigi, is it a statistic? I would say so.
Yeah, it's a
A
no
statistic.
statistic.
Not
Statistic is
statistic.
pretty and then if you're new in the business or if in a slump, because unfortunately last year I've seen some really good agents re I'm not going to use a positive word, wanting to get out of the industry because things were not going well for them.
It happens.
Not saying restructuring for the better. No. It's like no, it happens, but it shouldn't. And then we if you're still living in the days of post covid where you had you breathe, you have a license, you sell, it's not happening. That frenzy is all gone, right? So that all went to shit. Anyway, we're using french words. Yes. SMR, what is it? ASMR, like shit. That's what
Mm.
I'm gonna say. Yes, that.
Copy that.
Hmm. All right, so the statistic, 87% of licensed agents fail within their first 5 years. They quit the business, they gone. Arrivederci, goodbye, sayonara.
That means for those of you who are tuning in and see people achieving and being very successful in real estate are a part of the 13%. So how do we stay a part of the 13%? And I think NAR did this study, and I think it's over the course of 5 years,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It's a 5 year study.
Yeah.
So over the course of 5 years, they are projecting that 87% of agents fail.
Right.
Now, why is that?
Yeah, and then we're gonna have, why is that? Okay, I mean there is several factors. I want to point out that 2023, the first half of the year, and it looks like we don't even have the figures for the second half of the year yet.
Mm.
But the first half of the year saw 60,000 agents leaving the business altogether.
And
You
that
know,
was during the time where the interest rate skyrocketed. I remember that.
right?
It went from 6 to 8%. And agents were like, F
Right.
this, man.
I know. But what it's like reasons why. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Now that I'm focusing more on my clients are not sellers anymore, they're more like agents because
You
I
want to help.
spend more time recruiting and helping out with training and stuff like that and the well-being of the agents in my now brokerage for over a year. I The conversations I have, I'm for some reason people still think it's $1 million listing. People still think that yes, I'm going to be Ryan Serrant. I'm like, okay, good. Do you have what's your budget for marketing? Can you put like $10,000 a month in a certain area to market yourself and just go hard at it? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, so what's your financial situation? You want to make it big into real estate? Great, let's talk about that. Well, I just quit my job. Good. You're going to get an employment that's going to get you over the hump a little bit. We're going to have to talk about living with, limited means of income, but, you're still able to make it. Oh, no, no. I quit my job and I was being paid cash. It's like, how much, um, how much money you have saved up? Not much. I'm like, okay, number one, your financial situation. This is a business. People are under the impression that it's a cheap business, it's a free business you can get into, and that we don't have any professional fees attached to our business on a yearly basis. I think you need to
Right.
be prepared to at least just for the running of your business, just with your MLS, LIBOR, whatever it is, board of
Mhm.
realtors, business cards, and a little bit of marketing, minimum at $2,000 a year. You don't agree? Don't you think?
No, I agree. 2000 a year.
Just for those fees, and
Oh yeah.
then you need to, if you're not doing it part time.
So ideally, what you want to do is basically put money aside. And I know
If
what they're stating in the article is put about maybe 6 months. So you literally have to calculate your expenses. Everybody's expenses is different. But if you're trying to jump into this full time, step one, you need to calculate that, right?
I
This is
would
one of the
advise
main
jumping
reasons
in it
why.
full time. I know everybody wants to do it part time, but what is the success rate of somebody doing real estate part time? I don't want to knock down those that are doing it well because some people are doing it. I have some agents that are even top agents who still have a daytime job, like easy with, I don't know, like where they still leave early during the day. They work for Department of Education and whatever, and they still be able to churn listing after listing. And again, their priorities are, you see what it is, we're talking about just listing, right? So they don't run around with buyers. So it's possible to do it part-time with a plan. But the first thing is, yes, your finance in order. Like you're not going to see, at least for the next 6 months when you start real estate, you're not going to see any money. So you need to know what your expenses are.
100%.
And
So
then when you have, yeah,
if your
like for a
expenses
month,
are, for example, what, 3,000, let's just say
rent,
hypothetically, all of your expenses are $3,000 a month. Keep the
how
number
can they be
simple. Can you do math
3,000?
with big numbers? Can you do
How
math with
can
big
they be
numbers?
3,000? Don't you have a rent? It's
That's
New
it,
York.
Gigi. You tested me. 5,000. 5,000. Go ahead. What's 5,000 times 12?
I would go a little bit high. I
And
think
somebody comment.
like five. So somebody commented. Good.
And
Somebody please
somebody, no,
comment.
I said,
I
can
think,
somebody comment the number faster than
yeah.
you can calculate
I
it?
mean, if you don't have at least 60 grand, 70 grand saved up or put aside to just 6 months, half of the 30 grand. It's going to be tough.
You just scared everybody away
Half
with
of
that.
the
You're
population.
telling them to put 60
I'm
grand away.
saying
Listen,
this, okay.
I'm saying this real quick.
Or
I'm just saying this. Look at your expenses, look at your funds, calculate what those numbers are on a monthly basis, and then from base of what the article is stating, 6 months. You're saying 12 months, that's fine. But if you have
no,
about
no,
six
I
months,
said in half, divided in half. But if okay, but if you have a support system, if you have like a partner that works and still able to somewhat support you, you're still going to be responsible for the other half, you know. So you still need, if not 30, like 15,000 at least. And that's $15,000 is really nothing because your partner is going to want to, and I hope that partner is going to help you push you a little bit to do what you need to
yep.
do to succeed because you need to pay those bills. I mean, we're all in the same rat race every month. We need to
I
make
hate I hate
money.
hearing that. We need to figure out how to get out of the rat race. But anywho, that's a different episode, different topic,
No, but
different day.
guess what? I still have to pay some. If you don't have a mortgage, you have some other stuff. You have your taxes, you have your insurance. If you live into a condo, you have your common charges. You have, you know, like whatever. There are still some monthly stuff that are recurring. We have a phone, we have
Hmm.
cable, we have internet, we have subscriptions to whatever. It's we have to eat. It's all money. It's this world is money. So I think you if you're better prepared, if you come up with a plan, or if you have somebody to support you, or that can help you with the subsidize that money, that you need to save up by giving it to you. Why not? Yes, do it.
Hmm.
Right.
No, I agree.
So
So
that
the second part would be to this would be limited knowledge of your lead generation.
I also
So
think like before we even put this, I would put like unreasonable expectation of yourself.
mm,
You talk to agents, it's like just to shoot the breeze, and have conversations. So how much you expect to be earning in real estate? My first year, or I will make $1 million. I'm like,
be realistic.
yeah. So when you tell people be realistic, oh, I think I can make at least 150 grand this year.
Well, listen, I wouldn't shoot. Listen, I wouldn't shoot down that number or the
No,
goals. What I would do is maybe break down what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, and if they're
right.
willing to tackle on those challenges, then 100%, I
Sure,
think it's achievable. But if
it
they're
is.
not, and they look at the work and see and realize, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna be calling people, or I'm not gonna be door knocking. Then,
No, but let's be real. Even if, let's say, you're in a slum right now, you've been in real estate for 10 years, and last year was a little bit hard, and let's say it feels like you have to start over. You're starting over. It's the same thing. Can you clearly say, I haven't, if you haven't prospected for 10 years, you haven't marketed yourself, how do you expect within that first 12 months? Let's be real. And let's go back to you and I when we started the business. You think that your chances of making it to $150,000 with what you were doing before are very slim. Okay.
correct.
And then um I did not make $150,000 in my first year. I didn't. And it's okay.
Okay.
Maybe, okay, 30 years ago. Yeah, I made close to 60. I thought that was great. I thought that was great. Like, oh my God, if I really apply myself, I could make even more.
There you go.
But you gotta be like, we gotta stop like all those fairy tales. Oh, watch that show, that's how much they make. Everybody thinks you're gonna be earning 5% each time. They calculate those numbers that are completely jaded. They don't think of what they have to give to their brokers, and some franchise fee. If you're with a franchise, some of them charge between 8 and 6%, and I'm like, guys, I mean, let's be real. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, of
And then
course.
running your business with a plan, where you're gonna get what you said, like your lead generation.
Leads, 100%.
You
So
know,
typically, you're going to get them from your brokerage if they offer these leads lists, whether they're expired, for sale by owners, for rent by owners. Um, but
even
you
buyer
have to call
leads,
these
seller
people.
leads. Yeah, you have to call them. You have to know how to convert them. You know how many. If you don't know what to do with them and you barely call them, you call them once. Oh, they didn't pick up, and you think that's enough. No, I mean, and say, oh, I only get bad leads. Sure, because what you gave me are shitty leads for the last year. You know how many times I hear this?
Speak a
I'm
lot
like,
of French. You're speaking a lot of French today.
yes, yes, yes. And it's like, I don't want to be upset. I'm just saying, like, you get those wrong expectations in the business. Leads are leads. It's what you do with
Yeah.
it, with
You
them,
have to
which
build
is
on
really
it.
important. Yes, hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know people forget I'm live.
I mean, we're all alive.
Huh? Yeah.
We're all alive.
Yeah, I'm
Anywho,
live and we're live. So lead generation. So you really need to learn how to handle those leads. You
correct.
need to learn how to. Yes, you can work the leads that are given in your office, but you can also generate your own leads, which is probably the best. Right?
Of
Right? We
course.
went. You
I
and
I feel I I feel that way because I know we used to get calling lists. We used to get numbers that we can dial. We would call people from the office on a daily basis, but I felt more comfortable being in person, whether it be an open house, whether I remember when I was doing a lot of the open houses for the office, that was my stage, man. That was, I
So,
don't know. I
but that's
felt like
good.
I
That's
took
how
that.
you generate leads. And I think if
Yeah.
you're a brand new agent, especially if you're a brand new agent, if you don't spend your weekend doing open houses, I
Hmm.
don't know what the hell you're doing. At least spend one day a week, one Saturday, one Sunday doing at least one open house.
Correct.
That's the only way you can generate enough leads. Because again, it's all a numbers game that are going to want to be willing to work with you, whether to buy or to sell.
And you should,
Right?
and I know your boy Tom Ferry recommends that you go to at least two open houses a week.
You host two open houses a week for agents in your office.
That too.
Yeah. And then when you
That
have
too.
a listing, and I know again the father, Mike Ferry, does is not a fan of open houses, does not necessarily promote them, but I believe they're a great way for a newer agent to be in front of the public and dealing with clients and
100%.
getting to learn to have those meaningful conversations, real estate
100%.
conversations. Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
So, and generating the lead. You and I, right before we went on live, what were we talking about? We're talking
Generating
about
leads.
generating leads. We're talking about absentee owners and your farm and this and that,
Yep.
and the different stuff that you could really do
Different
with
tools.
tools, with the technology that you have in your office, and the great stuff that
Mhm.
you could be doing. And you need to be aware of that. And if you're not aware of it, meet up, mastermind, strategize with people that are able to help you expand and basically make you a master of lead generation. Because if you can't
Correct.
generate yourself, there is no way. No way.
Correct.
Let's go with the other stuff. What were they talking about?
Well, lead generating. Failing to follow up with your clients.
Yeah.
That's a
Again,
biggie.
again.
We all fall into that pit
Do
hole where we
you
call once
do
and don't
you
hear back from them.
remember do you remember that training we had with Coach Michael Bird?
Michael Burr. Why does that?
Ah, the days of was it Exit or
Was
was
it
it EXP when we were at
Michael
EXP?
Burr? Remind
So
me again,
my
Michael.
coach Michael Bird did this whole series. It was a four-part series on following up. It was called the $1 million follow up. You see, I know, it really
Wow.
stayed in my mind. You know,
Taking me
when
back.
what are again statistics? How long, how many touches, meaning like how many times you need to not hit, but touch someone by phone, talking not physically, but by phone, text or whatever, or having any conversation or even
Hmm.
emails. How many touches are required to at least have somebody turn into a customer? from being just a lead, a contact, and then a lead. 9 to 15 minimum. If you don't reach out 9 to 15 times, you don't have any chance to even convert anything. And then, of course, if you're going to go
Yep.
and follow up, speed to lead. If you're going to wait 3 months to to call back someone, you're losing out.
Yeah.
You know, if you think it doesn't require work, real estate business without the work doesn't work. To me, it's all fantasy.
It's a lot of because there's a lot of customer handling that you have to go through. You know what I mean? There's a lot of information. There's a lot of fires that clients swear they see, but when we see, it's just like not a big deal, and we have to then kind of help them pump the brakes, put the fire out, calm them down.
Yeah, or
So it's very hands on.
yeah, and you have to show your value. If you can't sell yourself, if you don't know your worth, if you don't know who you are as a salesperson, first of all,
Hmm.
I think a lot of the unfortunately, and I don't want to bring anybody down, but we do not have enough skill building training on our value proposition to the consumer. We don't have enough of that. We need
Yeah.
to go back to the old fashioned ways. Yeah, you can combine it with social media and AI and automation and all this,
Hmm.
but skill building, let's go back to the old Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins, all those guys. Like all those old coaches would had a great idea on to develop your salesmanship skills because we are salespeople.
That's right. Yo, shout out to Brian. Said boom, dropping nuggets.
Good. Good. Yeah, it is
Um,
hard. Like right now, I don't want to deter anyone, but you'd better come up with a plan. And if and like there are things that you're gonna have to do.
so to your point, coming up with a plan. So Tom Ferry was kind of going over creating a morning routine, which is very interesting. So ideally from the get-go, you guys know that we have to kind of get in a routine. If you're waking up every single day and then we're just kind of sitting around,
What do you do? Because I know I have a morning routine. I
first things first, I hit the gym.
Okay, I hit the gym later, but first, you see, like, but that's your morning routine. Like, to me, I
That's
can't really afford to do this unless I want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym at 5. But at 5, I'm really sound asleep. So I'm
no,
okay
do it.
waking up at 6, but not at 4. All right.
All right.
But
You know
I,
what I did? You know what I did to train myself to do it? So if I wake up at 6, I would then set the alarm clock 15 minutes back. Just
yeah,
15 minutes. And I would say, all right, cool. I'll wake up at 5:45. And
yeah,
then every day I would try to set it back and comfortably wake up until I get to that time.
yeah. Like for me, I believe in the morning routine where I with your coffee while you take care of your body, your grooming situation there, and having your morning beverage, whether it's tea, coffee, whatever you're doing. I like to um I'm not saying, I mean, some people do meditation,
Yeah.
some people do gratitude. They like to do gratitude journal. I try for a little bit. Between you and I, it's really not my shtick. I mean, it's a fantastic idea. I like to thank God. I wake up, I'm like, I'm alive. This is great. But
All
then
right.
I
It's a
also
start.
I also like to feed my brain with positive stuff. I do um I do like a lot of the stuff that would make me better as a professional and better as a human being. Some people like the music, some people like funny stuff, some people
Mhm.
like to like the light things on. I don't want to propose going down the rabbit hole on social media because that's kind of silly.
Oh God.
You're losing the purpose, right?
Yeah.
But you could watch like a good skit or a good like playlist of video
No.
on YouTube.
No, man. That's how it gets you.
It's actually feeling better to watch like a playlist of videos from the 80s than you would do go on TikTok and watch a
Yeah.
lot of the nonsense and get those, and then you feel bad about yourself because this is what's going on my TikTok. This is like I don't even want to look at it. It's like I took this pill and I lost 67 pounds in 2 weeks, and they know it
Man.
because they know that I'm trying to get rid of this menopause, weight gain. And you know what? That phone is hearing me. So everything is about this and showing me people that lost 200 pounds in 2 days by just breathing. And I'm like, this is crazy. I don't want to hear this.
Oh my God.
So positive stuff, no news, no
Yeah.
nothing. But just I like to watch videos, like the
Yeah.
psychology of the sale or so on and so forth. I sometimes some less known trainers or agents. Like this morning, I was in preparation to what we were doing this morning. I was listening to some of agents' testimonial
Uh-huh.
on how they started the business, on YouTube
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So that's interesting. You get their perspective. So I think it's why not? It's good. Find a way to feed
Yeah.
your mind, feed your soul, feed your soul a little bit. Then hit the office, and I believe in before you even check your emails and respond to stuff, which you should be doing, but you have a dedicated time for that. You should definitely prioritize prospecting.
Yep.
Do you still do your prospecting routine in the morning?
Yeah. I'm good
It's
now that I'm back on vacation.
yeah. Huh?
Yeah, now that I'm back from vacation, I am getting back in the groove of it,
Yeah.
you know? And it feels better to get it out of the way first thing in the day because of that.
Right.
Because you typically you dread it. Unfortunately, we all dread it. You're not alone. Okay, if you're sitting out there thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, I hate calling people," yeah, don't worry. We everybody does, but you know that it's powerful. You know that it's a quick way to try to generate more leads. You know, you'll cover more ground.
When the
Um,
days are going to be nicer, why not switch up? Just go and say, you know what? Instead of me
get some
getting on
fresh
the
air.
phone, I'm like, let me switch up a little bit. Let me just go and talk to some neighbors.
Yeah. Listen, you can get door hangers, flyers, just
Yeah.
leaving things back just that you can continue to be top of mind. And of course, to your point, right? Like you mentioned earlier about the circle prospecting, right? These are just more ways for you to continue to hone in on these specific areas that you're targeting or marketing in. So
Yeah.
take advantage.
Like no one ever told me, no one, like you go to a neighborhood and you're going to talk about the most recent sales, and you have your sheet, and you know what's, even if it's your office, yourself, whatever, and then you do a little mix of different stuff that we're selling, and you're going to talk to the neighbor 2 street down from that house. Nobody ever told me I'm not interested. They're like, oh yeah, let me see. How much were the taxes? Oh, I heard they had the whole thing was falling apart in the attic. And then you're like, yeah, they didn't even have a photo of, like you can have those freaking conversations
Correct.
and then go back into asking them what their plans are and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be
Yep.
invasive. It doesn't have to be like so salesmansy and scripted and sounding like robotic. You could bring in any type of conversation and bring value and say, you know what, next time I'm in the area, I want to make sure I'm going to bring you this or
Yeah,
that
yeah.
or whatever. Like some people like baseball. I hear those agents. I used to do door knocking with some people and they're like really good at following the games. I'm not. And conversations with some of the homeowners go between real estate and the game, and it's fun, and you create good relationship.
Yeah. No, it's true. Definitely a way to do it,
It's
you
true,
know?
but you got to show your value. You have to be a human being about it, but you have to sell yourself. You have to show what you can offer. If you
Yeah.
don't do that, and you have to think of this all day long. Our jobs is to have real estate conversations with new people all day long. That's
All
it.
day
All day
long,
long, all day. Yeah.
you know?
What else did our friend Tom Ferry said?
I mean, we kind of went through the entire thing, to be honest.
We did.
We
One
did.
thing too is I would add, never stop learning.
Ooh, that's a powerful one.
And I'm gonna tell you what I'm faced with right now. I'm faced with working with some agents that are superpower in the industry, and I will want. I'm gonna have a training on I'm gonna go beyond growth and fixed mindset. I'm gonna go into a different type of
Damn.
I know, because you could have growth mindset, but you can't don't necessarily have there is a certain mindset where you a lot of the mindset in this society are based on making you look good, making you sound right, and making you do right, and another thing, versus being a whole well-rounded human being where the component of giving and not expecting to receive and being like a human being altogether or doing things for the greater good of the group is not it's really minimized out nowadays. And I figure, like if you're a little bit more giving, if you're a little bit more open to do things in groups or to do
Uh,
things for the greater good of society, like I'm going, like you could probably open up your mind, like I've seen those older agents, they just talk in their stuff. They don't see the point of technology. They don't see the point of getting training for new things. They at
yeah.
some point starting to, and then they feel irrelevant and they're completely panicking, and you're
Yep.
like,
It happens.
um, or you completely closing off to yourself, you know you're
Mhm.
saying, I'm going to share this, but just on the surface, I don't want to help anyone. God forbid they're going to become better than me, and I'm like, and this is what where we face, like sometimes we have to grow as human being, you know
100%.
like I
Like
still
you're saying,
believe
man.
in the fact that the universe works in this way. The more you give, unselfishly, and the more you receive, like why not give out a couple of your trade secrets and stuff that work with you. You and I, we share stuff. I don't I
Correct.
I don't hold anything. I'll share with you everything I have, you know. And
Correct.
I'm not expecting anything in return. And because I think sometimes when I'm sure I have a good thing, why not share it?
I agree.
So yes,
Sh-
I think we need to work on ourselves as people. That's what I would add.
Yo, that right there is true facts.
It is. It is.
True facts. If only we were a little more kind-hearted with each other.
Yeah, and be aware of the other,
Be
if
aware.
you if you're more gifted than one person, and again, like I was thinking about a lot of the things, the schooling systems with the grades, and how we're telling one person, you failed at this one, you're a failure, you're a failure. I'm like, no, you're not a failure. It's just there is a gap between the information that was given to you and the understanding, and how you understand it, how long it's taking you, or how you're processing it. It doesn't mean you're a failure, you know
Yeah.
and we
School was traumatizing.
I'm sure it was for some people, but yeah, I mean, I think we also have to make ourselves a little bit better as human beings.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
On this note,
I think that's a wrap.
it's always going to go back to the basics. You're always going to have some things to do. There is no secret sauce unless you have $10,000 a month in marketing money. Yes, you can probably really have a nice return on that investment. Unless you have that, you still have you. And again, even with your marketing, you need to follow up and you need to convert. So it doesn't really matter. It's back to the
Oh
same.
yeah. Oh
Right,
yeah. The conversion still has to be there,
right.
you know.
So that was it. That was our 2 cents. I hope we
Yeah.
did not offend anyone.
No.
Um, but it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. But just to wrap it all up, guys, be successful. Quick points. Get your finances in order. Remember what we said, right? Figure out what your expenses are, both in life and business. That'll calculate what you need to be making on a yearly base. Break it down to a monthly base. That way you
Yeah,
can see it better. Create that morning routine. Get things going. Some of them recommend doing words of affirmation. Gigi likes to read things or listen to things positively, which is
yeah,
fine
yeah,
too. Listen,
yeah.
whatever
Affirmation, gratitude,
gets you going.
all
Whatever
this
gets you going.
works. Yes, yes, it does.
and create a daily action sheet. Excuse
You
me.
know what? The small actions, the small daily actions, again, that's your plan. We went over we'll go back over those things throughout the year. And yeah, action plan, your yearly. You have to have your big business plan, but your daily plan of action has to be there too.
100%.
Little steps.
Um, Focus on lead generating, as Gigi said, that should be priority. If you
Good.
can, we've said it before, block out 2 hours. If you can't do 2 hours, you got to start somewhere. Start at an hour, start an hour and a half, start to build up to that 2 hours. I know, Gigi, sometimes people want to start somewhere. Look, do something, but do it on
Do
a daily
something.
basis. All right.
That's it.
Make sure you practice that role playing. Make sure
I
you are
know,
not,
I know, I know.
all right.
We're still proponents of scripts. Find your guru and practice, and that's it.
Practice makes perfect. 10, 15,
Yes.
minutes a day. All right. Before
Yeah,
you make your calls. All
that's
right.
it.
And then make sure you're attending your open houses and host
Yeah.
open houses. If you're a new agent, don't have listings, reach out to your broker, reach out to your teammates, reach out to your associates, see if they need any help with open houses. That'll be a quick way for you to set the stage and meet people up front. You never know where that could take you.
Go to the office training. Go. I know there is
And go to
always
the
very
office training.
little attendance, and I don't get it. Even if you sometimes don't think there is any, it doesn't apply to you. Still go. You might find something interesting. You might learn one thing only,
100%.
that will make your day. Yeah.
Even if it's one thing, you learn something.
Yep.
But
That's it. That was it. Simple. I'm
finito.
done. I'm ready for
Yeah.
the weekend. Yeah. Open house this
Ooh.
weekend.
No, not me. Not this weekend. I put all my stuff under contract, so now I gotta do the footwork again, right? I
Oh,
gotta reach
yes.
out. I gotta start making calls. Reach out to some of the past leads, some of the people that attended my open houses, follow up gang. So yeah, I'm gonna be in the trenches for the coming days.
You know what? We
But
forgot.
I
Let's
do.
do quick. Let's do quick fast. Who is our MVP of the day?
I don't know.
Who is
But
that? I don't
somebody
know who
said,
that
"What's
is.
up, guys? Happy Friday."
I know, I know. So
That's
we're on to
Amrish Diaz. Shout out to Amrish Diaz, yo. Thanks for
yes.
tuning in. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. So
Um,
MVPs
but
today are, I guess, Brian. Was it Brian Cohen? Yes, Brian and
Brian,
Amrich. Thank you, guys. All right.
all
All right. So
right.
I think we can just
I
that's it.
think we
Just
smooth sailed into. Listen, this is the last weekend of February.
I know.
Next week, 29th. What's that? Thursday? I think it's Thursday, right? Thursday
Yeah.
is the 29th.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that means our next episode is going to be March 1st.
Yes. Yes.
Damn.
I know.
We're
That's it.
already into the third month of the year. But all right.
Yeah.
We
First
out of here,
quarter is
Gigi. We
almost
out.
over. That's it. I'm done. I'm seeing a lot of buzzing around there. I gotta move on to my next
Ooh,
little
got a lot
venture
of
this
buzzing.
morning.
A lot of little
Yes, I like
flies.
it. No buzzing as far
Little
as
fly.
people. Yeah. All right,
I
guys.
know.
Talk to you soon,
All right,
and
folks.
make
Have a good
this
weekend.
weekend. Yes, make this weekend worth it. All right.
Make it count.
Bye. Yes.
Adios, amigos.